Okay, Module O, we're going to just talk briefly here about critical thinking. We're going to define and describe the importance of using critical thinking skills while we're doing resident care, why critical thinking is so important, and the 5 questions that we need to ask ourselves to make sure that we are using critical thinking. So critical thinking is exercising or involving careful judgment based on facts and observations. We have to be able to critically think to provide safe, competent care to our residents in a variety of situations. So even though no situation is ever exactly the same, and even if we feel like we don't have great critical thinking skills, we can develop our critical thinking skills over time and with practice and with experience. But we need to be able to, and like it says here, it says developed through real life experiences, education, communication, and observation. And we incorporate critical thinking into our daily processes and activities, and we will continue to improve our critical thinking skills. So critical thinking allows the nurse aide to put theory into practice when we're caring for the residents. So we're learning all this textbook information. When we get into the real world, it's going to look different, it's going to feel different, but we have to be able to critically think and use what we've learned out of the book and in skills lab and apply it to a real life situation where variables are unknown and for sure not going to be different and unpredictable in a lot of situations. Critical thinking allows the nurse aide to administer care in a safe and confident manner. It requires the use of sound judgment in a variety of situations, and it helps the nurse aide to identify situations that deviate from the norm. So not all nurse aide activities can be specifically directed, and not all situations can be described in the textbook. When we are faced with a real life scenario, we need to focus on problem solving. So the critical thinking involves, how do I solve this problem? All right, so questions to ask. This is how we go about this. How do we solve this problem, right? As a critical thinker, the nurse aide should ask questions. What problem do I need to solve? And who should be involved? What information do I need? And how do I know if that information is accurate? How do I solve the problem? And if I have a solution, what are the advantages and disadvantages? And maybe I have an alternative solution. What are the disadvantages and advantages of that solution? And what am I missing? So you always want to try and think outside the box as well. Look at the whole picture. Use your observational skills. Use all your senses. What information are you missing? What else do you need? What might be important? So critical thinking is important because it is what makes us adaptable. It enables us to act independently and allows us to move beyond what we already know or guess. So that's, again, essentially, I know that's quick, but that's critical thinking. Does anybody have any questions or comments on that? Okay.